This is Golden Dove's class 225, um, page 135, written in oral law. Let us consider these two aspects of the written law. One is written but unreadable. The other is vocal but unwritable. It's interesting because when you have the Torah Shebichtab, of course, has a written text, the alphabet, right? The letters, Bet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, right? The Bereshit, right? So, those are the letters. So that's written, but you can't read it, of course, because you can't read without vowels. The other is vocal, but unwritable. Then we have a masoret of how to read the letters. So under the Bet, under the Resh, under the Shin, right? So we know what the vocalization of these letters are, right? Now, those vowels are not writable. If a person writes the vowel in the Sefer Torah, it's pasul. These aspects are not equivalent. Well, right, exactly, because one is purely vocal and the other is purely written. The Talmud formulated the principle, Devarim shebichtav, tarashai lomram al peh, words that are in writing, you may not say them vocally. And vocal words, Devarim shebe'al peh, tarashai lomram bichtav. Vocal words, you may not say in writing, right? Just going to open up the footnotes to page 135. So let's see. Do I have this open? Page 135. Footnotes. We're getting there. We're going to actually to the end of the book also, I see, because we're almost at the end of the footnotes, which is a good thing. Let's see. Footnote 1 for page 135. See, Gittin, Daf Vav Amud Aleph to Daf Vav Amud Bet. Okay, that's where we have this halacha. The common view is that Devarim shebichtav and Devarim shebe'al peh stand for written and oral law. So everybody says, well, this refers to the Torah shebichtav versus the Torah shebe'al peh. So for example, you may not write the Torah shebe'al peh, and then you have a discussion, well, how could you have written the Torah shebe'al peh in the days of Rabbeinu HaKadosh? Right? So you have that discussion. So, but my father says this view is incorrect. Written and oral law are not designated as Torah shebichtav and shebe'al peh. I'm sorry, I misread. Written and oral law are designated as Torah shebichtav and shebe'al peh, not as devarim. What you refer to as devarim shebichtav and devarim shebe'al peh, right? So it's not correct to say that Devarim shebichtav is referring specifically to the written law, and Devarim shebe'al peh is referring specifically to the oral law, because then it would be Torah shebichtav and Torah shebe'al peh. The correct interpretation of this passage was given in a work attributed by Ibn Barzilai, right? El-Barziloni, and followed by Harambam. Okay. And I love this about my father, really. If it wasn't for my father, I personally would not know about the traditions of the Great Andalusian of Hachamim and how these traditions connect with Harambam. And today, people study the Rambam, but the Rambam is just, it's like the Rambam really studied in Lithuania or Ponovich, and he has this shita and there's other shitot, and right, and together we make a cholent, and we call that psak halacha. But the truth is that Rambam was part and probably the climax and the pinnacle of the Torah of Andalusia. And the Torah of Andalusia was a continuation of the Torah of the Geonim. And the Torah of the Geonim was a continuation of the Torah of the Amoraim, or Seforaim, Amoraim, Tannaim, etc., and Moshe Kibbutz Torah Misinai. Right? So to just, today nobody knows about Torah Andalusia, and therefore they really don't know about Torah Rambam. Right? It's just an important point, because ultimately, when to pave the road for the Mashiach, we have to return to the Torah in the tradition that it was taught by our Chachamim, right? And today there's so much foreign elements in Jewish thinking, precisely because they are not familiar with Torah Andalusia. So you have these foreign notions that corrupt the Torah, and the Torah is no longer Torah. I mean, yeah, they're studying, and the Torah has become some magical thing. So if Tinokot Shel Bet Rabban are studying, okay, but what does it mean? Tinokot Shel Bet Rabban are studying. So if you're in a kollel, you're a Tinok Shel Bet Rabban, even though you don't know how to read Hebrew and you can't read the text, right? So I'm sorry for this, for digressing. It's just important that I get very, very touched when I'm exposed to the Torah of the Geonim, and then you understand things that you would not understand but for that. So Rabbi Yehuda Barzeloni, he explains, it concerns a written and vocal text of the law, right? There's a written text of the Torah Shebichtav, the letters, and there's the vocal, which is the Masoret, of how to read. What is the vocalization of those letters? The liturgical lesson of the Torah cannot be enunciated according to the written text. Obviously, disregarding the vocal tradition of reading, right? When you read the letters, even though there's no vocalization in the letters, if you're going to read them, you have to read them in accordance with the correct vocalization. And it is prohibited to write the text according to the vocal tradition. So, devarim shebichtav yata rashai leomram al peh. And devarim shebe'al peh yata rashai leomram bichtav. It's almost like it's saying devarim shebichtav yata rashai leomram. When you say it, when you read it, when you recite it, when you're reading Bereshit bara Elohim, you can't just, right, I'm sorry. So now I'm going to read the letters of the Torah, and I'm just going to read them in accordance with my own system of vocalization. So I can just read it the way I want to read it, right? I have to read it in accordance with the correct tradition from Ezra HaSofer. And similarly, Devarim shebe'al peh, but so you say, okay, so in that case, write the vowels in the Torah, and that's haram, that's asur. If you vocalize the Sefer Torah, it's pasul. Right? The significance of this rule is particularly evident in the words known as keri uchtiv, read it but write it, right? So in keri uchtiv, that's a great illustration of devarim shebichtav, devarim shebe'al peh, in which the scriptural and vocal texts do not coincide, right? So I can't read the word as it's written. I can't read it. I can't omram al peh, right? But on the other hand, I can't read the kere. I can't write the kere in the Sefer Torah. Thus, neither can the vocal lesson be enunciated according to the written words. That is another reading of the consonantal text. Nor can the scriptural text be written according to the vocal text. That is with a different spelling. You understand? So that's very. It's really fascinating. So devarim shebichtav yata rashai leomram al peh pertains to the Torah shebichtav, as does devarim shebe'al peh yata rashai leomram al peh pertains to the Torah shebichtav. Each aspect of the law finds expression in a different commandment. The commandment to study Torah in its most basic sense is the obligation of a father to teach his Torah, a son Torah, until he can read, that is, recite the unvocalized text according to the vocal tradition. So the mitzvah that the father has towards the son is to ensure that the son knows how to read the text of the Torah in accordance with the masoret of the vowels, of the tenuot, and of the ta'amim. The commandment to write the Torah, which is a different mitzvah, and that consists of copying the scriptural text according to the law. There, it's just the letters. When you write the Sefer Torah, that's a separate mitzvah, which is to write the letters. Although these commandments are conceptually related, they are formally independent of each other. One may charge the obligation to study Torah by reading from a scroll that is liturgically pasul. because you're right. Because when you study the Torah, you can study it even from a Chumash. It's the mitzvah of Talmud Torah is to know how to read, right? Right. So the mitzvah of Talmud Torah doesn't require a Sefer Torah kasher. So it's separate from the mitzvah of writing the Sefer Torah.